Hello everyone, I welcome you all in this video. Today we are going to learn from third chapter of history, India's internal challenges. In last some videos we have learned sources of history in chapter number 1. Second number 1, India events after 1960, especially political events from 1961 to 2000, contribution of each prime minister, afterward the social issues, economical issues, science and technological changes, even the globalization, how India reacted with the globalization, or how globalization many changes in our country we have seen. So today we'll see some India's internal challenges. India's internal challenges. In this chapter we are going to learn about some internal challenges that India faces and faced. We shall see some internal challenges like separatist movements. Separatist movement remain separate from India, whose demand it was. Second number, issues of Northeast India, generally we call seven sisters or the seven states which are part of Northeast India and issues. Third, Naxalism, which is very drastic for the India. Next, communalism and regionalism. The which issues we are going to discuss today. See, once again, separatist movements, issues of the Northeast India, Naxalism, communalism and regionalism. Whole topic is based on these internal challenges. First, the unrest in Punjab. Unrest in Punjab. Akali Dal was the major political party in Punjab. It was a regional party. In 1973, Akali Dal passed the Anandpur Sahib resolution. One resolution had passed named as the Anandpur Sahib in the year 1973, and the demands were done by this Anandpur Sahib resolution by the Akali Dal. Yes, what included in that resolution? See, the Chandigarh should be made part of Punjab. First, number 1, Chandigarh should be made part of Punjab. Second, the Punjabi speaking parts in other states should be included in the state of Punjab. Third, recruitment of the people from Punjab in the Indian army should be increased. Next, more autonomy should be given to the state of Punjab. And because of these demands, what happened? Akali Dal came to power in Punjab in 1977, and while taking charge, they asked for their earlier demands, even the larger share of river waters for Punjab and the holy city status for Amritsar, like the demand increased, and along with their old demands, and because of that one, like the unrest had taken place in Punjab. Let's see, students, in 1980 the movements for the independent Khalistan took root in Punjab, Khalistan movement, and during that period the leader of the Akali Dal was son Harcharan Singh Longowal. You should not forget his name. He used to direct his activists from the Golden Temple to stage protest. Yes, the protesting had started as well as the conflict had started, and their center was a Golden Temple. On the other side of the Golden Temple, armed followers started gathering around the staunch Khalistan supporters. That is son Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. And during that period, terrorist activities had begun. Yes, slowly, like the killing of innocent people, everything had started. Bhindranwale was arrested in 1981, accused of the murder of newspaper editor Lala Jagat Narayan. Lala Jagat Narayan. Here three names you have understood: Sant Harcharan Singh Longowal, second son Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, and next editor, that is Lala Jagat Narayan. Don't forget. After this incident, the situation worsened, and due to these developments, President's rule was imposed in Punjab in 1983. Bhindranwale went to stay at a religious place called Akal Takht, and Bhindranwale's followers captured the Golden Temple and built a barricade of the sandbags over there. Yes, means the whole situation was, or the area looked like a fort, and this greatly disturbed the peace in Punjab. Peace in Punjab, politically, economically, socially, or the religious way, everything had disturbed, and it was a major challenge to Indian democracy. Students, Operation Blue Star. What was the operation? Yes, we'll study here. The main task of getting the terrorist out of the Golden Temple. Yes, making terrorist out of the Golden Temple, and he entrusted to the Major General Kuldeep Singh Brar. Yes, he was a general. On the morning of 3rd June 1984, the mission Operation Blue Star started. What included in that? See, the operation ended on the 6th June. 3rd, 4th, 5th and the 6th June. And in this military operation, the Indian Army functioned with a great restraint, and the operation ended with the death of Bhindranwale and other terrorist one. And in 1986, an operation had to be conducted against terrorists in the Golden Temple once more. It was called Operation Black Thunder. Means earlier Operation Blue Star, and in the year 1986 Operation Black Thunder. After this action was taken, the process of establishment of peace in Punjab picked up momentum. Yes, means slowly people's demand increased. That one meant peace should be maintained in Punjab. Issues concerning Northeast India. Northeast India consists of the 8 states of Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim and Tripura. Don't forget the list of states. International borders of India touch each of the states to varying extents, and these states are different with respect to ethnicity, language and cultural diversity. Three-way. And the first Prime Minister of independent India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, took the lead in bringing the tribes living in these areas into the mainstream of the country, to bring all these states in the mainstream of the country or the development of our country. Students, do you know one fact is given here? The military expedition taken up with a particular objective is called an operation. Yes, one example, Operation Blue Star was an operation undertaken to evict the terrorist hiding in the Golden Temple. Operation Blue Star or the Operation Thunder. Yes, such type the operation generally like conduct to evict the terrorist hiding in the Golden Temple or the particular objective purpose. So it is called operation. Operation. Next, see issues concerning Northeast India. In 1954, he formed the Northeast Frontier Agency, that is called the NEFA, Northeast Frontier Agency, and comprising of the terrorists on the Sino-Indian border and the tribal areas towards the north of Assam. You should not forget here the NEFA's work. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru took the position of bribing about the development of hundreds of tribes in these parts while preserving their culture, like the full cooperation and the support had given to bring them in the country's development, and special provisions have been made with the respect to these areas in the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Next, see, in the year 1965, the responsibility of administering this area was given to the Ministry of External Affairs. Like the more people were appointed to look after the matter or the issues concerning Northeast India. And the Northeastern Council Act of 1971 was supported and supposed to advise the central government regarding aspects of common interest in economic and the social spheres, interstate transport, electricity, flood control, etc. Such issues were considered and number of decisions were taken under the Ministry of External Affairs and according to the Northeastern Council Act of 1971. Yes, these are the major issues. Even today, some are fulfilled and some are still pending. First, number one, the issue in the Mizoram. The tribes in northeast India have an ancient history in Mizoram, today's Mizoram. When India became independent, the government gave administrative autonomy to the districts of Mizo majority areas of the Lushai Hills. Lushai Hills, those who are living in this region mostly were the tribals. And when the state's reorganization commission was appointed in 1954, the expectations of these people in this area agreed to separate state, and the Mizo leaders started demanding an autonomous Mizo province. And in 1959, the territory of the Mizoram experienced severe drought, and during this famine, Mizo leader Laldenga served the common people a lot. His contribution for the formation of the Mizoram is remarkable. Yes, see, Mizoram 1961, Laldenga established an organization called Mizo National Front. It's called MNF, Mizo National Front, and he asked for Greater Mizoram. Instead of Mizo, Greater Mizoram, an independent nation carved out of Tripura, Manipur, and Mizo majority areas from the Lushai Hills. His demand. And in March 1966, Mizo National Front announced the emergence of independent Mizoram. And the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi handled the situation firmly and suppressed the rebellion. Yes, like as their demand, instead of fulfilling, like as who were the rebellions, that rebellion had suppressed by PM Indira Gandhi. When the situation calmed down, that year was 1972, the Mizo majority area was given the status of a union territory. In the year 1972, Mizoram was a union territory, and in 1985, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi had an agreement with the Mizo National Front, that is MNF, and Mizoram was given the status of a full-fledged state, union territory to a full-fledged state. And Laldenga, the leader of MNF, became the CM or the chief minister of the state Mizoram. We can say that Laldenga was first CM for Mizoram state. Mizoram state in the year 1985. Second one, Nagaland. The Naga tribe in northeast India is known as a martial tribe. Naga tribe is known as martial tribe, and the Naga tribe had settled in eastern Himalayas. Yes, what includes in eastern Himalayas? Naga Hills, border areas of Assam and Myanmar. In 1946, some educated Naga youth, those who were educated and understood like the formation of their state and all, established an organization called Naga National Council, that is called NNC, and later they made a demand for an independent state of Nagaland because they wanted to preserve their culture, like as a special aspirations, special demands. To fulfill their demands through the NNC, they tried their level best to form their land as a Nagaland, a new state in the year 1946. But what happened? See, they were led by Angami Zapu Phizo. Okay, Angami Zapu Phizo. He was the leader. In the year 1954, the Naga National Council, that we call NNC, announced the establishment of an independent federation of Nagaland under the leadership of Angami Zapu Phizo. And in 1955, like I say, clashes happened between the local Nagas and the soldiers of the Assam Rifles. And at that time, central government or the military action was taken to suppress the skirmishes. Yes, the clashes between the local Nagas and the soldiers of the Assam Rifles, yes, solved like sending military there and suppress the skirmishes here. Several rounds of the discussions, yes, you should not forget, several rounds of discussions took place between the central government and the Naga National Council, that is NNC, and the central government decided to give the Naga majority territory the status of a union territory. Okay, union territory, but the Nagaland was made a full-fledged state on 1st December 1963. Yes, how many years afterwards Nagaland became a state? See, 1st December 1963, and by putting together the Naga majority territory and the part of Yensang, this part included as a part of Nagaland state even today. This formation of the Nagaland was not easy. Yes, many people struggled and got Nagaland as a state for their land. Next one, Assam. In 1983, there was an intense agitation staged by All Assam Students Union, and Assam Gan Sangram Parishad, just like the two unions we call that, over the question of the dominance in Assam of Bengali migrants. As we know that after the independence, many people had migrated. Out of that one, Bengali migrants. And in 1985, PM Rajiv Gandhi, Central Home Minister Shankarrao Chavan, and Assami leader Praful Kumar Mohanto signed an accord, like the one treaty had signed among them Rajiv Gandhi, Shankarrao Chavan, and Praful Kumar Mohanto, like as a Assami leader. According to that treaty, what they had decided? See, it was decided to send the Bangladeshi citizens who had infiltrated in Assam, like as who were the migrants and settled in Assam, back to their original places. It was much challenging for the Assami people, even the central government also. In 1986, elections were held for Assam Legislative Assembly, and Praful Kumar Mohanto of the Assam Gan Parishad became the new chief minister. Here, name of Praful Kumar Mohanto should not forget. Due to this democratic process, it became possible to establish peace in Assam, and first CM for the Assam became Praful Kumar Mohanto, and because of his great contribution for the formation of the Assam or maintaining peace in the Assam, yes, his role is remarkable and noteworthy also. Next, third number one, that is Arunachal Pradesh, which is the part of our country, independent state. In 1954, NEFA was created. In the 1972, it began to be called Arunachal Pradesh, the rising sun. Okay, Arunachal Pradesh, the rising sun. I think this term you have studied in geography well. On 20th February 1987, it got the status of a constituent state. Yes, on which day the Arunachal Pradesh like as declared as a independent state, 20th February 1987. And during the period from 1960 to 2000, 40 years, Northeast India has progressed towards a more mature democracy, and this area is on the path of progress through industrialization, spread of education, and more facilities already are given, or the central government is even today is giving. So students, today we have discussed like some issues or the internal challenges faced and facing India, including that unrest in the Punjab, or the Operation Blue Star, Operation Thunder One, and northeastern like a formation of the states and their struggle we have studied here, including the Mizoram, Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam. Such type the states have formed, and like the leaders which had contributed and spent their life for the separating states, but part of India, and the central government role also we have studied here. Hope that students you understood like the some points which are given in this topic very well. Like I suggest that you read this topic carefully, where you get the main points, like they try to understand for the better, and the detailed information you can use Google or the other sites which are given in the textbook. Yes students, like they try to understand the specific people as well as the leaders which names are given here, and take care of yourself, like they take care of your family members, like they be conscious regarding study and surrounding also, and the Naxalism or the Naxalite movement and other challenges, internal challenges of India, will study in a next video. Okay, just wait. Jai Hind.